Good evening, Professor Emery. I just wanted to preface this project submission by letting you know that I know I asked for an extension to Sunday, and currently obstacle came in place. I tested positive for COVID, so I'm in self isolation. I'm at my house in Charlotte, and currently in my sister's room, trying to get this out the way. No excuses, and yeah. So today I will be presenting my project and podcast, and welcome. I'm your host, David, and this is my podcast, Wishful Thinking. And today we will be focusing on the issue of the lack of women representation in the CIS field. So, to essentially begin, I created a thesis and project in my senior year of high school detailing the misrepresentation and underrepresentation of women in government, and how 23% of women, less than 23% of women, occupied government seats that are supposed to represent the opposite gender, and will enact a future that women could feel comfortable in about so many important things. And I knew that based on that experience of knowing that in these positions, in these high ranking positions, that women are at an all-time low, that it's prevalent in a lot of different areas. So I chose to use that same idea into this project and focus on that lack of women hires and representation within CIS fields. So yeah, as I said, the diversity of hires within the CIS field is at an all-time low, and this stance hinders the future progress of gender equality in the field. But by extending resources and time to allocate equal opportunities and recruitment tactics to women and minorities, we can progress towards a brighter future. So to begin with, I would like to set the issue and where it's occurring. So there is a massive derailing occurring with the you know diversity of hires within CIS and technological fields, where minorities are representing less than 30% total of a population of workers, where the dominant majority is white males, and even further less when we're trying to focus on women, where women are occupying less than 10% of those seats. And there's an article that I decided to pick that um, made very clear points on why this is happening, created by Brianna Flavin, that there is essentially very big misconceptions on why women don't take these jobs. And one of those misconceptions is saying that the area that these technological fields are basically operating in are antisocial, or they're not feminine, or the math is too hard, and being met with these rampant takes right off rip when you're trying to apply for a job or learning about the job deters women when you hear of any other major that could be a lot more accepting towards different ideals, different people, different backgrounds. So to go on those one by one, hearing that math is too hard, if you already don't like math, you will not want to take it. You will not want to challenge yourself and see how far it could take you in that field. Or if you hear that something is antisocial, knowing that women could be more keen to connections and networking, and that hearing that could just be like, maybe I just don't want to take this route because I know that this won't pay off in the way that I want it to. Yet that's even a bigger misconception, because in the fields of CIS work hand in hand with computer science, CIS meaning computer information systems, and then computer science, which is like coding and developing software, work hand in hand to create projects to solve issues at IBM, Google, Tesla, and sometimes require even more teamwork than engineering for or architecture. So hearing those things, like I said, will cause women to feel very isolated in their choices, and deter them from knowing that they are being shunned away from a environment that truly is welcoming, truly is based on camaraderie and teamwork. And like I was prefacing with the government, it's so hard for there to be set concrete whys as to such a big issue, because essentially if there was a huge wave of women to apply for these jobs, mathematically and logically speaking, if there was 600 women to apply for these jobs, 60 or less would actually want to take them. And that's the point, the want. A lot of guys, self included, want to take these jobs, because we know that say pay is high, or we know that we can work with our buddies, or we know that we are good at these certain subjects, but we're not being met with any deterring, facts or statements right upon entry. So um, it's just a tough cookie, because women have to not only fight for that, but fight for inclusion in so many social aspects. So this is not just stereotypical, but it's also mental, because a lot of people in these fields, in these technological representative seats, don't want to have a woman boss, don't want to have a huge meeting where a woman could represent, and that's just wrong. That's just old. That's just a prejudiced way of thinking. And to that, I think that there's solutions to this issue. There's another article that I found that was created by Mark Perry. And to further note, the statistics that I'm using are sanctioned by the U.S. government, and were created in order. It was a census essentially of the technological fields and things of that nature. And these statistics range from representing how many white males, how many white females, all the way down to Asian Americans, Hispanic, every single thing. And that's how precise the seats are, because it was very, very recently created. This is not, I believe, 2018. So Mark Perry's article connects to that, because it's solutions. It's what can we do as a society, or maybe what can we do within these companies to further help the issue and find ways to include the people that deserve these jobs, the people that rightfully have the merits, the qualifications, and work correctly towards that path of getting a job. So um excuse me. In this Mark Perry article, one of the things that is addressed is the way that we could have further outreach programs of recruitment, of job internships, of first year seating positions, of even drawing people in to attempt the major, because so much cloudiness and so much skepticism around one major, without having people out in the in society and in these big cities trying to outreach to people and tell them, like, hey, we would love to have you work for us, or we would love to have you represent us one day at the biggest pinnacle of our position. Then it basically drives away from any potential that anyone could see in that major. And that's one of the biggest things that Mark Perry decided to go straight into, is because honestly, that's like prevention of something. If something bad is going to happen, you want to prevent it. And this time we're like trying to intervene so it does happen. We want something really, really good to happen. The easiest way is to intervene early, before people have any um choice to make of their major, of nursing, or physical therapy, or athleticism, or teaching, or engineering, architecture. Before those ideas could come up, you want to step in first and let them know that this society is accepting this position, will be right for you. You will be able to be accepted here, and things of that nature. And not only of that specific thing, but it points to a future where not only will people be able to sit and relax and think that, okay, I won't have to stress about my major and where I would have to go to work, because no matter where, it's my choice, it's my dream. But these women will be able to have, made this choice so much like time ago, that there will be no need to create these further intervening, because more and more women will include themselves because of word of mouth. The same way that people and men want to try these technological fields because they know that other men are doing it, other Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. Until women get to that point and are issued the help and shown that they want to be included, then there will be little to no progress. So really, in conclusion, there is a chance for a hopeful future in the grand scheme of a lot of points and different like possibilities. There is a big possibility and big chances for women to be included and driven to jobs and given every opportunity to succeed within these fields. But it starts at the very root, having outreach opportunities, having internships, having jobs, um or even summer jobs that incorporate some form of that future aspect of the job will always tailor to a wishful and hopeful future, because no matter what, people will look at those jobs with a nostalgia and always want to keep going and keep grinding because they know that they are accepted there, and know that not only is the job lucrative, but the job is accepting. The job is not how society in general feels about me. The job is, you know, just different. It shows me something different. It shows me something that I haven't seen before. And because of that lack of modernization to this point, there will be changes. There will be women that eventually come up with huge ideas that people would want to always say, dang, like we could have had that person within our field, within our business. And the easiest way to make this comparison is looking at someone like AOC that is representing New York in government. She's occupying one of those 23% seats in government. Yet, look at her impact. You can't tell me that a generation isn't coming up wanting to be just like her, wanting to enthrall themselves in government. And it's hard to disagree with that, because you know that her impact is large. She's Hispanic. She's a woman. She took a shot and she did it. And those same ideas, those same paths could be driven straight to technology, and that's essentially where it lies, where diversity is truly low, but with better effort to outreach, to get to know uh, minorities, to get to know women, to get to talk, to get to show what you can possibly do in this major, we will be able to see change in a wishful future. Thank you.